Anthropic just released Claude Opus 4.6, and it's supposed to be the smartest and greatest model out there right now. If you've tried Opus 4.5, you know that this is a great model. So 4.6 definitely got me very excited. That's why I decided to create this video. And it's supposed to plan more carefully, sustain agent tasks longer, and overall be more reliable, especially in larger code bases. So this is very attractive for enterprises and for experienced engineers that already have a large code base. And actually today I'm gonna try it in a real production project and wanna see if it's actually able to add a full feature. Oh, and I almost forgot. Opus 4.6 now supports 1 million token context. This is a massive improvement. I'm very excited to try it out, so let's dive in. If you want to learn how to build and ship mobile applications with React Native in Expo, check out my courses at codebeto.dev. We also have templates and production-ready examples that you can take and apply to your application to ship faster. This is the official blog post, and they added really nice graphs here that I want to show you. So for knowledge work, you can see that Opus 4.6 is better than GPT 5.2. Let's check out the agentic search. And again, we can see that 4.6 gets the highest score in the industry for deep multi-step agentic search. Let's see coding, which is what we do, just above GPT 5.2 with Codex CLI. And let's see reasoning. Here you can see the difference with and without tools. And again, just above GPT 5.2 Pro. Another graph that I want to highlight is the long context retrieval. So long context retrieval, it's basically giving a bunch of context to the agent. So let's say that I told Opus that I like apples, right? And then I added a bunch of code, added a lot of context, documents, and then after 10 prompts later, I asked the agent, what is my favorite fruit? And it should say apple, right? And this is a crazy benchmark because if you pay attention, with a context of 250,000 tokens, Opus 4.6, it's almost always able to retrieve that data correctly. And when you use the 1 million context, 76% of the time it's going to be accurate. So that's just way better. And the last graph that I want to show you is the long context reasoning. Basically, 4.6 excels at deep reasoning across long context. It's just a massive improvement, as you can see here. So now I'm actually excited to try it out and let's see if it's actually better and we can sense at the difference. So to test this out, I'm going to be using my AI tattoo application. It's called Inkigo. It's available in production, by the way, making at the moment of recording this video more than $200 in monthly recurrent revenue. So this is actually a real application with real features. And one thing that I want to add is a prompt history. Because right now I've noticed my users that whenever they prompt for trying on a tattoo or generating some ideas, they lose the prompt. Sometimes they have to copy and paste it each time. And as you notice here on the left, this is a massive code base with a bunch of screens, a bunch of components, but that shouldn't be an issue for Opus 4.6. Oh, and in case you're wondering what am I using here, this is Warp. It's a terminal with AI powers, and it also has a code editor, so you can do quick things here. And I'm gonna leave the link in the description in case you want to learn more about it or download it. I highly recommend it. They are not sponsoring this video though. It's just me liking the product. So let me open a new window and let's start Claude. And now I can say model. So we have to manually select Opus 1 million context. And please notice guys that this is gonna be expensive, especially because it's going to reason more, generate more tokens, and it also has more capability for the tokens context. So use carefully. Hopefully this is not gonna be super expensive. All right, so now we have the model here. Now the next thing that I want to do is actually make a plan. All right, so now we're ready to start prompting. I'm gonna be using Aqua Voice, which is a software for speech to text. And this is how it works. Hello, testing 1, 2, 3. So whatever I say is going to generate text and then we can just use it here directly. That way I don't have to type. I highly recommend Aqua Voice and you can use my link to get 1 month free. Link in the description. Help me create a plan to implement prompt history. The issue right now is that users are prompting and generating tattoos, but after a generation is successful, they lose access to the prompt. And sometimes, you know, it's a long prompt that they have to write again. So it would be nice to provide a sheet or an icon that opens a sheet with the prompt history where users can quickly select a previous used prompt and right away, you know, send it again or maybe tweak it. So each time that they send something, we should add to this history. So the code base, you can explore it, but it already has Expo SQLite, and I want you to use that. Similar to how we are storing the settings with Expo SQLite, we should save the prompts, and it's just locally. We don't have to do any API calls or stuff like that. And yeah, just create a bottom sheet that shows the history of the prompts. And yeah, once the user selects one of them, we dismiss the sheet again and set the current prompt to the value of that specific prompt on the history. And yeah, ask me questions if you have questions. All right, there we go. That's my text. Let's hit enter. Now it's burning my money. Look at this, guys. It's running 3 agents in parallel to explore the code base. All right, so Claude has written up the plan and it's ready to execute. Didn't ask me anything. Let's take a look. All right, so this looks like a good plan, right? So it says users lose their prompts after generating. They have to write from scratch. There's already a placeholder prompt history row in the existing sheet showing coming soon alert. Oh, yes. I forgot about that. This is good. For example, here I added this prompt history, which says coming soon, and it caught that. This is nice. Approach is gonna use Expo SQLite KV storage, which is exactly what I wanted. Same as app settings, same pattern as sheet.tsx. Awesome. I didn't have to say that, and it's good that it's going to use the same things that I'm already using in the application. So definitely I can see a difference here versus other models. All right, and it's going to implement a swipe to delete on individual rows. This is actually kind of tricky. None of the models that I've tried so far have done it right. And honestly, I don't think Opus 4.6 is going to handle it. And I'm kind of tempted to just say, just don't try it. But just for the sake of this example, let's see if it actually handles swipe to delete. Yeah, it's going to modify the layout because it's going to add the new sheet, replace the coming soon stuff, update the context to save the prompt. This is how the storage is going to look like. Looks good to me. And it's going to write this prompt history.ts for having these nice strings like just now, like a moment ago. This is good because we don't need an external library. Notice this, guys. It says yes, clear context, and then auto accept edits. Let's do that. That way we start with the context free and we have the plan already. All right, now we wait and let's drink some coffee. I'm looking at the code that is generating, and it definitely is looking at what we had in place in the code base, which is really nice. And it's just following the same pattern. Either, maybe we're doing something wrong and it's following the same pattern as well, which is at the end of the day good. This is what we want in a large code base, consistency. And it's doing it well. All right, and it's almost done. So let's see if we have some errors. Oh, it changed the presentation of this. Now it's not a form sheet. It's the prompt history. All right, so the prompt history looks good. Although I'm not sure why it changed this to be a card. Now, before I actually start testing, I want to see the cost of this. All right, so I just burned $2 on this feature. Definitely very expensive. Of course, I'm not paying for a plan right now. I am using the API and I have like $20 in credits. But $2 for this, definitely very expensive. And it used Haiku for some things, which is, I guess, good. And Claude Code, you can see here that most of the cost is coming from it, $1.33. I want to check the context. So 55,000 tokens. This means that I can keep prompting and working with the agent, and it's going to keep producing good results. Oh, okay. So I just refreshed the application because yeah, it told me that everything was correct. My bad. Yeah, and if we go to the prompt history, it's another sheet, which is fine, right? We can use that. Can you disable the actual submission just to test locally the prompt saving stuff? Yeah, because I don't want to, wait for Nano Banana to generate these images. All right, so I'm actually gonna need to use my real device since I don't have a plan on the simulator. But don't worry, here's my iPhone. All right, let's test this out. Let's go to the prompt history. There we go, nothing there. Let's just select a suggestion. Boom, it's done. Let's check the prompt history. There we go. Okay, this looks really nice. I can select it. and it gets, set, but it's not dismissing the previous form sheet. So basically we need to do a dismiss all, but it's working really nice. Let's say hello, submit. Let's now go to the prompt history. It's hard to access, of course, but it looks really nice. It doesn't have the swipe to left functionality. Instead is a long press to delete, which is fine. I think we can keep it. Let's clear all. All right, that worked. Great. All right, so let's ask for a follow-up. After I select a prompt, we are dismissing the prompt history sheet, but the previous sheet stays open and it overlaps with the keyword. I think we need to dismiss both sheets. Let's see. Ooh, it's passing 2. I didn't even know you can do that. Let's see. Prompt history. Nothing there. Let's actually create one. Okay, let's go back to prompt history. Select it. Awesome. Okay, that looks very smooth. And then I can submit it again. I wonder if, okay, now I lost the input. Let's see. I wonder if it keeps saving the same prompt each time that we submit it. Not sure if that's, oh yeah, it's the same one. So if I use it, it's not saving it again. Let's see. Oh, that's good. What if I change it a little bit? Let's say 2, submit, check the history. There we go. And we can delete the previous one by long pressing. Can you add a very subtle system image that functions as a button to quickly open the prompt history? This should be inside the text field, liquid glass view. Small icon, very subtle. It shouldn't take a bunch of space, just for a quick action to open the history, because I think this is a highly used feature, and having to press the plus to open the first sheet and then scroll down to select prompt history, that's a lot of friction. So if we can just directly go to the prompt history from the input, that would be great. Let's see. It should use Expo UI, which is pretty new. Let's see if it can handle it. Yep, it's planning on using VStack and liquid glass. There we go. It's there. That was quick, actually. Okay, so we can quickly access the prompt history. And it's not taking a lot of space. I think I'm happy with this. And it's staying at the bottom, which is really nice. I think I'm just gonna keep it. Yep, quick access. I can reuse it. Boom. I love it. I think I want to ship this right now. All right, let's bring back the submission functionality. I think we're ready to create a pull request. So please create a new branch and open a pull request. There we go. Honestly, guys, I actually can feel that this is way better, and it's actually faster, and it knows very well my code base. I'm very excited, but something that I don't really like, it's the price. Maybe if I, get into the $100 per month plan, that would be cheaper, but I need to check the limits. I'm actually not sure. All right, let's see the cost. $3 for adding this feature, which, it was a great experience. I'm happy with the result, which I think it's fine. The application is generating more than $200 monthly recurrent revenue. Let's check out the pull request. This is how it looks. So ready to be merged, ready to be reviewed. We can see here the code changes. All right, and that's it for this quick video. I'm actually super surprised, guys, and really excited of, what you can do with Opus 4.6. I could definitely feel a high quality and faster iteration over my code base. It really knew what I was doing, how it is doing it already in the code base, how everything is done. It handled liquid glass effect, it handled Expo UI, form sheet presentation, and the code base is fairly long, and I only used around 5% of the context window. I spent $3 in this feature, which it's a little high, I think, in my opinion, but overall, I'm very surprised. Remember that the experience of using AI is highly enhanced by a good knowledge of the underlying technology. So if you want to master React and React Native, check out my courses at codebeto.dev. If you're interested in the source code of Inkigo, my AI tattoo application, it's available for pro members at codebeto.dev as well. Join the newsletter, subscribe, leave me a comment, and otherwise I'll see you in the next one.